Hello, and welcome to the world of shadows. I am Afsana, and I am here with a new story for you. I know I have said that we were going to have a conversation or a discussion or a guest, but this story sounded more interesting to present. And because it is a holiday, Eid, and people are off from work and school, I thought it was a very good time to present this story. This is the story given to me by a girl named Jennifer. All names have been changed to protect their identities. So the names that you're hearing are all changed. So Jennifer told me the story of her mom, who we will address as Sonia. So let's talk about Sonia's story. Jennifer, now 24 and married, she grew up hearing a terrifying story about her mother, Sonia, from the elders of her family. The event took place when Jennifer was only 6 months old. So, this is the background and the story. Sonia was originally from Dhaka, Bangladesh. She had love marriage with Hero, Jennifer's father, and moved to his ancestral village in Faridpur, Bangladesh. At that time, Faridpur was not as developed as it is today. Village life was simple and traditional. Kitchen and bathrooms were usually outside the main house, open to nature. People commonly bathed in ponds and lakes instead of indoor bathrooms. The village itself was filled with greeneries, trees, and connected lakes stretched between villages. Near their home was a beautiful lake Sonia loved deeply. The path to it took around 5 minutes to walk. Along that path stood an enormous banyan tree, a botgach in Bengali, believed to have existed for over 200 years, even before Jennifer's ancestors settled there. Around it were mango trees, date trees, flowering plants, and thick village greenery. Sonia was known for her beauty and her very long hair. Hero, her husband, was not financially well off, but they had built a life together. One afternoon, Sonia cooked beef curry, gorur gosh, in the outside kitchen. After finishing the cooking, she ate 2 pieces of meat and then went to bathe in the lake during the hot noon hours. As she walked down the path towards the lake and reached the giant banyan tree, something strange happened. According to Sonia later, she suddenly felt herself being pushed violently. She fell towards a nearby date tree. When she tried to stand up again, she was pushed once more. Then she disappeared. Hours passed. Back at home, baby Jennifer cried continuously for her mother. Sonia's mother in law began searching for her. Soon the entire village knew Sonia was missing. In villages, news spread quickly because everyone knows everyone else. Since baby Jennifer was only 6 months old and fully breastfed, the family had no choice but to feed her cow's milk that day. When Hero returned home from work and heard Sonia was missing, panic spread further. Villagers searched everywhere until evening, but there was no sign of her. At one point, the mother in law remembered Sonia's habit of testing food while cooking. Village elders often believe certain foods or conditions could make someone vulnerable to supernatural harm. Since Sonia had eaten meat before going to the lake, the mother in law feared something bad might have happened there and urged everyone to search the lakeside again. Around 15 villagers gathered with hurricane lamps and torches and walked down the dark path towards the larger lake Sonia usually bathed in. Then they saw her in the middle of the deep lake. Sonia was standing perfectly still. She was not floating. She was not swimming. Only half of her face was visible above the water, while the rest of her body remained submerged beneath the surface. Everyone was terrified. The lake was known to be very deep. No one understood how she could possibly be standing there. Despite their fear, family members entered the water and brought her back to shore. Strangely, lifting her out was easy. When they pulled her from the lake, her entire body looked pale white. Sonia returns home. Back home, Sonia was conscious. Baby Jennifer cried desperately upon seeing her mother, but the grandmother refused to immediately hand the baby over. Though she said nothing openly, she had become deeply suspicious that something was wrong. Sonia sat beside the doorway and asked for food. Hero served her rice, but Sonia said it was not enough. He served more, but still she demanded all of it. Then she specifically asked for the beef curry. She mixed the rice directly into the large meat pot and ate everything inside it. Not only the family, but many villagers witnessed this. After finishing the food, Sonia walked into a bedroom, closed the door, and fell asleep. The way she slept disturbed everyone. Though the open window, they could see her body in a unnatural sleeping position. No matter how loudly anyone called her, she would not wake, not even for prayer time, namaz. Meanwhile, baby Jennifer continued crying endlessly, refusing both food and sleep. Sonia remained asleep for nearly 2 full days. Finally, the family called a local Hujur for help. After hearing the details, he referred them to a more experienced Hujur known for performing exorcism. Hujur is like priest, okay? Anyways, let's go back to the story. In local belief, some exorcists are said to work with their own control jinns while dealing with supernatural entities. Before arriving, the Hujur warned the family that dark events were happening in the house, specifically warned them to protect the child, saying the baby was in danger. On the third day, the Hujur arrived with 4 other men. As they entered the property, the men stood at the 4 corners of the house and gave the azan loudly. The bedroom door where Sonia slept had been locked from the inside. Family members had tried repeatedly but could not open it. The Hujur opened it easily. Inside, Sonia was still asleep. Jennifer says she does not remember every detail herself because she was only an infant. But according to the family members, this was when one of the jinns first spoke through Sonia, and they later claimed Sonia was possessed by more than one. As the Hujur began the exorcism, one of the entities inside Sonia finally spoke. We will not leave her, it said. We will take her. The Hujur asked, how many of you are inside her? The voice answered, there are 7 of us. According to the entities, they had been watching Sonia for a long time, waiting for an opportunity. They claimed Sonia often kept her hair open and exposed, and on the day she disappeared, she had eaten meat before going outside alone. In local supernatural belief, these were considered conditions that made someone vulnerable. The entities described Sonia as extremely beautiful and said, We finally got the chance. We would have taken her that day. We would have eaten both her and the child. Now, the villagers listening were horrified. People in the village were usually careful about such belief and traditions, but Sonia had grown up in the city and reportedly did not believe in these things. The family later believed that this may have made her less cautious. Jennifer does not know every detail of what happened during the ritual, but according to her family, the Hujur performed many prayers and rituals over Sonia. Some of the entities inside her were believed to be Hindu jinns. During the exorcism, they resisted fiercely and threatened the family before leaving. They warned, "We will not spare Sonia or her daughter." But among the 7 entities, there were also 2 Muslim jinns. After the other entities were forced out, the Hujur gave salam into the room. To everyone's shock, one of the remaining entities answered the salam. The Hujur asked who they were. The 2 entities explained that they lived behind the family's kitchen near Idoba, a small swampy water area where no one usually went. According to them, they had also been watching over Sonia and her baby, Jennifer. They claimed they did not witness how Sonia was captured near the lake, but once she was brought back home, they realized dangerous entities had entered her, so they entered Sonia themselves. They said they fought the other jinns from inside Sonia's body and forced Sonia into a deep sleep to prevent the hostile entities from harming the family or escaping further. The 2 entities claimed both they and Sonia had been injured during the struggle. 1 or 2 more days, they said, and we would not have been able to hold them back anymore. Hero offered sweets as a gesture of peace. Villagers brought whatever food they could gather from their homes. Before leaving, the entities gave one final warning: protect her carefully. They will try to return. They also told the family that baby Jennifer was very blessed. According to the story, the entities consumed the sweets through Sonia's body before finally leaving her. Afterwards, Sonia became physically weak and remained ill for some time. The Hujur instructed the family to keep her protected at all times. Sonia was given amulets for spiritual protection and was told to avoid unprotected places and homes. That night, for the first time in days, baby Jennifer finally stopped crying and fell asleep. The Hujur warned the family not to wake the child. Jennifer reportedly slept continuously for 8 to 9 hours. From that day forward, Sonia lived under strict spiritual precautions for the rest of her life. But according to Jennifer, this incident was only the beginning. I hope you all really enjoyed the story. And this is a request from me that if any of the story parts were confusing to you, please question me directly. And this is a very sensitive story for the person who shared the story. So please be mindful of your comments. And if by any chance you did not enjoy the story or you do not believe, consider this as entertainment. And if you have any story to share, please do. And I do provide my email below, so you can email me anytime your story. And also follow me on Instagram. You can find me as Septem Claire or the World of Shadows Global Portal. And please send in your stories so I can share more. And if you want to be a guest, also send me a message. And I can't wait to share more stories and more experiences with you. Thank you very much. This is Afsana signing off.